Hey there, hi there, hello there. Welcome to an all-new episode of Talking Smack, where we talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more. I am your host, Josh Scar, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Alex. Alex, how are you doing this wonderful, beautiful day?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, I've reached the time in my life where I need a warlord to come over, conquer my land, and then, marry my mom, but she's undead, and then kill her and bring her back again, and then not acknowledge it at the end of the film.
So in this scenario, you're going to marry your mom, who is undead?
You know what? Greek is back in business. Oedipus,
yeah.
family trees that don't branch, whatever it takes to get there.
Well, I mean, I have good news for you in terms of the first part. We're not even inching closer to that first part he's not a warlord. He's a weird old man who likes to bronze his face, but he's bringing us into some kind of hellscape.
Josh, how are you this fine day?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. We went to Stockholm Inn for Mother's Day, and I had some Swedish pancakes and a side of hash browns like I do every time I go there. And if you ever find yourself near Rockford, you need to stop at Stockholm Inn and have yourself a breakfast. I don't care what time of the day it is, as long as they're open. Get some Swedish pancakes, get some lingonberries on those bad boys, and go to town.
Are you sure they're good, or are you only doing them because you have Stockholm syndrome?
Well, I'm Norwegian, so I can't have Stockholm syndrome. I can have Oslo syndrome. But that's just us walking around going oofta.
Oofta? Oh,
oofta. That's the Norwegian ope.
Yesterday was at this little event here in town called Margaritas on the Mall. And so, we're hitting all the little margarita stations, and it's basically a way to stir up business and remind people, hey, support local, support, our small strip mall kind of things, the shopping centers. And I never realized how much I just immediately said, whoop, and sorry every time I'm near somebody else. Because it's constantly, we're forming orderly queues. But of course, since you have to go into the business and, towards the back of the store to get, the margarita and the little snack they had, and, browse what kind of business it is and stuff. Just constantly, sorry. Yep. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you don't even have kids. When you have kids, my kids are already doing it. Like, it's just ingrained in us. You just go, oh, so there you go. Oh, you're okay.
And you're not even running into the people. Like, it's just the, oh my gosh, I almost bothered you. Oop. Oh, sorry.
Exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The near threat of an inconvenience.
But I do have to get back to Stockholm real quick here because they started having those like doggy bandanas or like babushkas or whatever you want to call them that they put on dogs when they go to like the parlor.
Mm-hmm.
Stockholm now has some of those.
Oh.
So Ufta, in spelling it from the Norwegian to American English, it's UFF space DA, Ufta.
Mm-hmm.
They have these doggy bandanas that say Woofta.
Oh, that's adorable.
I love it. I saw that. I was like, oh my God, Bonnie wouldn't wear this, but I kind of want to get it just to have it.
That is beyond adorable.
Get it for a cat even. I don't care. My cat barks. My cat says woofta.
I once upon a time really tried to get our cats to wear collars, but I think it was just way too old for them because one cat, she was just trying to groom it off of her neck. And so eventually we just removed it. We're like, okay, you've been like attacking your neck for like an hour trying to, she wasn't trying to hook and pull it off. She was just like trying to groom it. The other cat, because it had a little bell on it, it spooked her. So she was slinking everywhere, like wondering why this sound is following her. and then our last cat, I just love because she was our princess cat. She was a tortoiseshell, so she definitely had the tortitude. we put it on her. She kind of looked down at herself, looked at it, kind of turned her neck once or twice, like, and then she extended her claws, hooked it, and threw it off of herself. Because they're not like they're I think the
They're
oatmeal.
breakaway.
Yeah, the oatmeal was that promoting them. They call them like convict kitties, so they're like bright orange. So if you see
Mm,
them outside, they're supposed to be indoor cats. So they
okay.
break away really nicely, so cats don't get stuck. And just seriously flicked it. We're like, wow, that was impressive. And no, she just went boof, and we're like, you're strong.
We've had 5 cats, Ricky and I have had 5 cats in our time together. One of them has sadly passed away a long time ago, like, around shortly after we started the podcast, back in
Mhm,
2018, but, the first 2 took to the collar, no problem, because we got them as kittens. They were, born in my sister's garage, and we just were like, "We're taking these 2," and, my sister was like, "Go for it." And they had no problem with the collar, and then we got our next 2, we got our next one, like, a year and a half later,
mhm.
and she wanted nothing to do with the collar.
Oh,
She would try to, like, bite it off and get her jaw stuck, so we're just like, "Okay, she's not wearing the collar." And then we got our 4th cat. He he was fine with the collar, but then one day it just disappeared, and we forgot to buy him a new one. So
oh,
he just never got another collar. And now we've got our orange tabby, and he has no problem with it. We put it on him. He got it caught like twice. The first couple times he tried like cleaning himself with it, and ever since then he's fine. Like he's a really he's a pretty stereotypical orange tabby where he's really fucking stupid,
yeah.
but he's also really smart at certain points. So like it's a really strange dynamic, but he does those things where just like his brain cell triggers or his synapses fire for like the split second of the day, and he just like bounces around on his legs like, "Oh my god, what's happening?"
You gotta love that.
Orange tabbies are amazing pets to have if you can ever have them because they are so dumb but so amazing at the same time.
I mean, it's just their love of lasagna just gives them that desire to just
Love
be
of
wacky.
lasagnas, hatred of Mondays, their internal monologue being that of Chris Pratt.
Exactly.
You either get the Lorenzo Music orange cat or you get the Chris Pratt cat. Neither one is extraordinarily great, but you pray for the Lorenzo Music.
Oh, Lorenzo Music was fantastic. Oh, like, I was a huge Garfield fan growing up, and so I was at the right age when Garfield and Friends was on, and I love that Garfield was I think they were called Garfield Quickies or Garfield Shorts that they would put as, like, little tie together episodes right at the end, like, between, we get to Happy Farms?
Something like that, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Farmyard Friends or something like that.
Yeah, and then, like, the little teaser right before the end of, the credits rolled, and I was always like, "I recognize that one. That was a Sunday comic from 2 years ago. That was a Sunday."
I remember watching Garfield and Friends before I ever started seeing, like I would read the Sunday Funnies all the time, but I just never, like, connected the dots that they were translating some of those into the animated shows. And then I
Mhm,
bought, like, collections of Garfield comics or, yeah, through, like, the book fair and stuff at school, and when they finally came out on or not Blu-ray, I bought the DVD sets, when the book Garfield and Friends came out on DVD, I started recognizing I'm like, "Oh, they just straight up adapted that from, from the comics."
yeah, we thought that was awesome.
I also learned the word sarcasm from Peanuts because I read those strips as well from, my school library. They had collections of Peanuts comics. And then I remember watching the Peanuts one day because, like, they had the Peanuts animated series on TV, but it was always on, like, while we were at school, and I just remember
Uh-huh.
one day being homesick from school, and Peppermint Patty has this whole thing where she, like, ran away from home for a set of strips, and she's sleeping in Snoopy's doghouse, and Charlie Brown finally goes to her one day and says, "Hey, your dad's here, and, he's ready to bring you home." She's like, "Nope, I'm used to living here, looking up at the stars. I'm not going home." And Charlie Brown goes, "Okay, I'll tell him." And she starts running after him and she says, "That was sarcasm, Chuck." But I had no idea how to pronounce that in my head. And then when I saw it in the series, I was like, "Oh, sarcasm. Okay, I like that word." And it became my entire personality forever.
Exactly. Thus your humor was born.
So we're going to hear from our friends appropriately over at Gaming Views. And when we come back, we're going to talk Mortal Kombat 2. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the trailer for Gaming Views. Think of it as the demo level before the real action kicks off.
We're Dan, and every week we're bringing hot takes, breaking news, deep dives, and everything gaming related.
From the biggest headlines to retro classics, hardware breakdowns, and inside scoops on developers, we cover it all.
So level up your gaming knowledge, subscribe to Gaming Views wherever you get your podcasts, and don't miss out.
If they haven't already, I'm hoping they do a Mortal Kombat deep dive because I really need someone to do a comprehensive breakdown of the Mortal Kombat continuity for the games. Because I played up to Mortal Kombat 4, I think. And at that point, I just got bored with it. Like, that's where, like, fighter games ended for me. I was like, nah, I'm done with this. It's all just the same shit.
I couldn't play Mortal Kombat because it was gory and bloody. I could play Street Fighter, though. But honestly, I was not aware until I realized I suck at fighting games, so I stopped playing. I didn't realize that there was a storyline in these games. Nope, I did not realize that.
I don't think there was one. Like, there was continuity that they built up in the instruction guides, but like no one read the instruction guides, or at least I didn't read them. But like I remember, like when Sub-Zero didn't have his mask and was completely different in Mortal Kombat 2. I was like, oh, they took off the mask and it looks so cool. And then I found out later on in life that, oh no, that was Sub-Zero's brother. Sub-Zero 1 died after the events of Mortal Kombat 1 and was resurrected as Bihan or Bihan / Noob Saibot, various Mortal Kombat shenanigans. And yeah, like the lore is really just laid out for you in the instruction guide from like Mortal Kombat 1 to 3. If you didn't read those, like it's just a fighting game with weird but fun aesthetics.
Went all the way over my head. Like the most lore I know is probably Soulcalibur, because I had a friend who had a Dreamcast and just would play Soulcalibur because that was like their favorite game. Then I remember playing Soulcalibur 3, 4. I know I have whatever the most two recent ones are because they only release one like every 10 years. And so I'm vaguely aware of the lore because they make you play through it to actually unlock characters and build the game. But Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, nope. I have no idea. I have no idea if this movie was lore accurate. I have no idea if the last one was. I have no idea if any of this makes sense.
Well, I can for sure tell you the first one, Mortal Kombat 1, 2021, is not necessarily lore accurate in terms of like the storyline, because among other things, there was not a Mortal Kombat tournament. Shang Tsung was basically trying to cheat to win the tournament, and that didn't happen.
No. They can't cheat to win the tournament. What are you talking about? That's
it's almost like it's the plot of every single Mortal Kombat movie.
That's rude. Cheating to win the tournament.
So speaking of rude, Mortal Kombat 2 has opened to about $40 million domestically, which is pretty good. It's an R-rated action movie. It had a budget of $80 million. $40 million for an opening weekend is not bad.
Nope.
What was bad was the $23 million it had globally away from America.
Oh,
so it's projected to open at about $63 million globally on an $80 million budget. And this movie was also delayed from October of 2025 to now because they were really thinking they had something here. And apparently they kind of did domestically, but the global audience had wanted nothing to do with this, apparently.
How? I actually feel a little bit bad about that. Like, has a Mortal Kombat movie ever done well? Like, I know the first one made some okay one.
I mean, the first one was made on a budget of like $10 in bubblegum.
Oh, yeah, and they made that back eventually. Yeah, after like the third or fourth weekend. Okay,
Yeah,
all
the
right.
VHS sales and everything too.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Does Mortal Kombat not open in China?
No, that the first Mortal Kombat gave us the reign of Paul W.S. Anderson of Event Horizon, 95 Resident Evil movies, and Monster Hunter.
Anything Mila Jovovich is in that's not The Fifth Element is probably a Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Yes, I completely forgot about that. All right, so the first one made about 122 million for 1995, which
I believe that was also R-rated. Maybe it was PG-13.
and then the second one, which came out 2 years later, was not directed by him, was only made 50 million, and was directed by John R. Linetti, who did such notable movies as Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Butterfly Effect 2,
Oh,
then took 8 years off and did Annabelle.
interesting. One of those reclamation projects, like the guy that ended up writing Chernobyl after writing the like 5 scary movie sequels after the 2 good ones.
And the Hangover sequels.
You know, honestly, I forgot the Hangover movies exist. I know those were a big thing for a long while, or at least for the like 6 years that they produced those. I remember really enjoying the first one, but I never went back to it. It was one of those things where it's just like, I don't like things where everyone in the movie is an asshole.
Yeah,
And
no,
like
people
even
don't
Zach
know
Galifianakis, who is like the buffoon of the group, he's creepy, and they like make points of to be like, oh, by the way, he's a sex offender because he's not allowed near schools. Like,
that.
okay, but it's funny because he's wearing a baby with sunglasses.
I did not remember that part at all.
I'm pretty sure that's something that they did is they
Wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, it fits the character, but it also is like really creepy. But I mean, that's kind of the point of a comedy like that.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll have to do a deep dive into like quote unquote the last great comedies of our generation, because we haven't had one that really hit the cultural zeitgeist like the first Hangover movie did.
Yeah, it was basically Tropic Thunder, The Hangover, and then maybe Bridesmaids. I remember liking that.
Bridesmaids did do really well, yeah, and that one still kind of lingers in the public zeitgeist every now and again, but I think it's mostly like because of Kristen Wiig's character.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will never forget. I just laughing my ass off, and my wife just rolling with laughter when was it Maya Rudolph's character? All of a sudden, like whatever they're eating hits her, and she's like running through the streets with her dress, and then she just has realized she's never going to make it to the bathroom, and just kind of like gives up and like sits down.
I mean, we've had good moments in comedies over the years. Like you've got Game Night where you have Rachel McAdams fighting that big Russian dude, and she like kicks him into the airplane jet, and she's just like, yes. Oh no, he died. Like amazing comedy there. And like there are good moments in these movies. Like even that tag movie with Clint Barton, Jeremy Renner, and all those other guys, like that big ensemble. Like that movie has moments. It's not great, but it has moments of really good comedy.
Oh yeah, no, there are great moments, but something that's just infinitely quotable that just stays in the population. It's been a while. I guess we should also, I mean, since we're mentioning Hangover, we should have a deep dive discussion of The Hangover gave us Bradley Cooper. Thoughts? Over the last 17 years, Bradley
Somehow
Cooper.
that role became like an Academy Award winner, director.
Mm-hmm.
American Sniper was a thing for him for a while.
What stuns me about that movie is that you would think that it kind of like is a Girl Interrupted scenario. The Hangover movie should have been Justin Bartha's movie where he explodes and becomes, because the movie's about him finding him, and his character. But Bradley Cooper is the one who launched into superstardom. Just like Girl Interrupted was supposed to be Winona Ryder, because she like produced it and like developed the script and everything. But they gave Angelina Jolie all the love and nominations for that film. But Bradley Cooper he's been on the superstar run. And he's got a few other movies lined up where he's going to write and direct himself, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, Bradley Cooper is kind of in the background of the main poster, but I think it's because he doesn't have as much damage done to him. He's got like a bloody lip and a scratch on his neck, but that's kind of it. But he is top billed, so it's Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Galifianakis, Heather Graham, and Justin Bartha. I mean, that's also the movie that made what's his name? He played Chang in the
Oh yeah.
in Community. Ken Jeong.
Yeah,
Like that's Ken Jeong's coming out party for Hollywood right there.
Oh yeah, and he has not relinquished any of that. He is just living it up from that role, releasing his comic specials. He's got like 95 seasons of the voice now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's been in every season of Community. He'll probably be in the movie. He was also in K-pop Demon Hunters. He was Bobby.
Yes, he was.
So we're supposed to be talking about Mortal Kombat 2. We got distracted. Yeah, we went from talking about the box office into this. So Alex, let's start with the number one question. Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I had fun. I was one of like 4 people in the audience when I saw it. I had fun. It was a good time. I realize I'm just gonna have to just shut any critical thinking of my brain going on and just enjoy what's happening for me. Like, I remember watching the first one back in 2021 when because it came out day and day release on streaming. Watched it that weekend. My wife and I both enjoyed it, and then it took forever they announced the sequel almost immediately, but it took forever for them to really get going and to bring it in. And especially since, as you mentioned, they delayed it because they thought they had a hot super summer property, delaying it from October to May. And when I asked my wife, I said, "Hey, you want to go see this with me?" She went, "Why? I didn't see the first one." I went, "No, we did. We watched it. It was like 5 years ago." I had to like prompt her with specific, not story beats, but like, remember they were in the cave and the Scorpion and this thing, and Scorpion was like the main guy, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll wait." And when I got home, she said, "Okay, so how was it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it was pretty good," and this and that. And she went, "Oh, so should I go see it?" And I went, "You can wait." What about you? Did you enjoy it?
I don't know if I would say enjoy. I legitimately don't know. I think it's fine. I didn't hate it. Like it's not unwatchable, but I didn't. Nothing really wowed me with this film. It really just kind of happened. I think the thing that I really walked away from the most was like, good God, Ludi Lin got jacked as Liu Kang for the role of Liu Kang in this film. Like, he is so buff in this film, and I'm shocked they didn't give him a shirtless scene. But that also kind of like distracted me because Liu Kang is supposed to be like a Bruce Lee type. He's supposed to be just that really lithe, buff, like 0% body fat kind of guy. It's Ludi Lin's body. He can do whatever the hell he wants to it. But the amount of like veins popping on his arms and just how big he was, I was like, that's not Liu Kang. Like, he looked like Liu Kang before, and I think he looks good for this role that they're doing for this film. But like, Liu Kang to me has always been like a tinier guy, like Bruce Lee, that just is going to wear you out with attrition. He's not going to just brute force you. And so like, that was something that really kind of shifted me, but also just the lack of focus in the storytelling. Like, the main focus is the tournament. Like, they heard everyone say there was no tournament in the first movie, and they went, okay, the tournament is the thing. The tournament's going to interrupt every story beat we have in this film, and it's going to it's going to move along every story beat as well. But there's also so many little complications and like over complications of things that they do in this. Like Shao Kahn is the main bad guy in this one. He leads the Outworld army or the Outworld team for the tournament. And in the middle of the movie, they're like, by the way, there's an amulet that he can like steal the life force of a god, and it'll make him immortal. It'll make him invincible, and he'll win. And everything we've seen so far, he's had his throat slit like 4 times in the first fight we see, where they like beat up Worf, but they use someone we have no idea who the hell they are, so we don't understand that it's supposed to be a beat up Worf. And so when Shao Kahn wins, it's like, yeah, we kind of knew that because we know he's the bad guy. So like, what the hell's the point of this? But the point is because Katana is Gamora, and they're doing the Gamora storyline with this as well, but they're only going to do like the big beats of it. They're not going to do anything that's remotely close to storytelling. And I think that was the big part of the problem for me with this movie, is there's no intent to tell a story here. It's just, the beats, you want to see the fights, we're going to get to the fights. And we will just have little plot beats here and there to just kind of make it seem like there is some kind of story.
I was kind of confused as to why he has this desire, Shao Kahn has this desire for immortality, because the first fight scene, it looks like he's defeated because like he gets like a blade up into the shoulder and he goes to his knees, but then he stands right up and finishes beating the hell out of the guy. And then that was the 10th tournament, 10 wins in a row, so he takes over that realm as well, ruling his own. And then the big story beat of this one is that Raiden is finishing looking for all the fighters he needs for the next tournament, because this will be Earth's 10th loss in a row as well to Shao Kahn. Well, like, why do you need to beef up a little bit, buddy? You're doing great. I believe in you. You're like 7'10" and 88,000% muscle mass. And why do you need this? I don't know. I don't understand.
Because we need to Professor X Raiden, because Raiden just causes too many problems, even though the rules of the fight are established. Like that's where I'm saying it's overcomplicated, because Shao Kahn is a big enough threat on his own. Like it's not even like Thanos getting the Infinity Stones, because the Infinity Stones get Thanos to his goal. Shao Kahn could get to his goal without the amulet. The only thing is the amulet also apparently will make him immortal, which maybe was a story beat that they thought they needed to throw in there, because Katana says something about that at the end of the film, but it's never mentioned prior. And so like, it doesn't matter. It's just a MacGuffin to make sure that there are some action beats in between the tournament fights.
In many ways, that doesn't bother me at all.
No, and like, I know I'm complaining about it, but it does do something to at least make sure the action continues, because the main focus of this film is the action and the fighting. Although the fight choreography, although good when they take a minute to actually do something, I really wish they would do some John Wick style stuff where it is longer shots. I don't think there's a shot longer than 4 or 5 moves in any single cut.
No.
And that I was like trying to watch for that, but at a certain point I was just like, okay, they're not trying to show off any of this fight choreography. They're just cutting to it so they can make a close-up shot so they can do something to reference the games.
Which I enjoyed that part, but like I said, I enjoyed it. Like when it comes down to Raiden, it's a must-see for me. It's just fun. The story makes really no sense. I'm not sure why Carl Urban is in this, other than, you know what? We needed to bring Johnny Cage into it.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme is a little too old for the role.
Yeah. And I had fun with his character, other than I wasn't sure why he was there.
He's there because he was in the video games.
That's true. There's no romantic tension between himself and Sonya Blade, which
I'm mostly okay with, because again, he's supposed to be like 56 years old, 50, maybe even close to 60. And Sonya Blade looks like Kristen Bell back in like her Veronica Mars days.
If you actually look at his ID when he shows it about something, no, he's watching a YouTube clip of one of his fighting tournaments when he was 16. And so he's like 58.
Yeah, and he was 16 in 1985. That was the clip, was 1985.
Which I'm not sure why they needed him that young, because they already did a flashback to like the mid 90s. And I'm sorry, that mid 90s action flick of like Cage Unleashed or what, or Cage and those other ones, Cage
Fury.
Those are not 90s action films. Those are late 80s, early 90s action films. Those are Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Like that wasn't even Kickboxer or Bloodsport Van Damme.
I was having fun with how terrible the choreography was.
I really wish they would have done like just poked a little bit of fun at Van Damme in Street Fighter. Like have him be like the lead martial artist in a video game adaptation from the 90s. I think that would have been really funny, because
that would have been great.
You're being a little meta with Mortal Kombat, but also you're being like, hey Van Damme, we know this is supposed to be you, but we're also going to have a little bit of fun and poke the bear of Street Fighter coming down the line this year.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Oh, I want to talk about Ludi Lin really quick. I think his Liu Kang is really good. I think he's just not given a lot to do, because for whatever reason, the studio executives or the screenwriters are like, well, Liu Kang was the lead of the very first 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. Audiences don't care about him. So let's make anyone else the lead, but we'll just continue to acknowledge that Liu Kang is like the best fighter on the team, but he's just not the lead for whatever reason. Ludi Lin, I think his fight choreography, again, he is jacked. He put in a lot of work, maybe quote unquote work, allegedly, to look the way he did for this film. I really wish he would get a lot more work. Everyone other than whoever, I forget his name, the Stranger Things kid that was Jason in the Power Rangers movie from 2017.
Yeah.
Like all the other 4 Rangers, they all deserve so much more. Like Ludi Lin has been good in these Mortal Kombat movies. I think he needs to do more. Naomi Scott is obviously doing a lot of really good things. She was in Smile 2. She was in what I thought was a pretty good Charlie's Angels movie. But I guess I'm wrong in that sense. Becky G is a musical artist, apparently fairly successful. But I thought she did really well in that film. RJ Kyler, who I think he was the best part of that movie, the 2017 Power Rangers movie. He also he was the best part of that that Netflix Western that they did with Idris Elba. I forget what that one was called. I think RJ Kyler kind of stole the show with that movie as well, which that's saying something given that he's in a film with Idris Elba. All 4 of those guys, all 4 of those actors should be bigger than they are, I think. Yeah. And especially RJ Kyler. I think he's got it. I don't know why Hollywood isn't doing anything with it. But Ludi Lin, I think, is another guy who, if Hollywood decides to stop being racist against Asians for like 5 fucking seconds, he could be another really good actor somewhere in Hollywood.
Josh, I think we need to talk about the person who really, out of that 2017 Power Rangers, really needs the boost.
The Krispy Kreme donut?
Elizabeth Banks. She sold that donut.
She was in a completely different movie.
and you know what? That movie was great.
We might have to do a commentary for that one, although that is over 2 hours, and I think I want to cap it at like just under 2 hours for our movie commentaries.
We're going full bore.
All right. Well, next year for 10 years of Power Rangers 2017, we'll do a commentary. It'll be our New Year's episode.
Hell yeah! Oh, I missed that movie. I enjoyed that. Other than Kimberly's horrible plot, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that was some 50-year-old screenwriter being like, I've heard kids talk about revenge porn. Is that good? No. Okay, cool. Let's make Kimberly do revenge porn. We're supposed to be talking about Mortal Kombat 2.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Mortal Kombat 2, speaking of which, until Scorpion Hanzo shows back up, I did not realize how much this movie missed him. Hanzo, when he shows back up in the movie, it all of a sudden becomes serious and earnest. And I was like, oh my God, that's right. You were in the first movie. And I forgot that you're down here in the Underrealm, Ether Realm.
NetherRealm, like the
NetherRealm, yeah.
studio that makes the Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah, you're down here in the NetherRealm.
Chicago-based, baby.
Yeah, I was like, man, we needed you. And you're back to being pissed off of Sub-Zero? Hell yeah. I am back on board with this movie.
I totally forgot that was a subplot. Like I remember seeing it in the trailers and like remember Scorpion was like gonna show up at some point. But for the most part, I was just like, I was having enough fun that I didn't even think like, man, this movie really needs Scorpion. But then he showed up and was like, oh hell yeah, now it's getting real.
Wondering, like, I'm like, where the hell is Scorpion? Like, I didn't the trailer. I swear the
Isn't
trailer.
he the lead from Shogun? I forget his name.
I really should watch Shogun.
You really should. It's good.
So I guess my question for you is, they switched from Cole Young and Liu Kang being basically the leads of the movies to make Carl Urban, Johnny Cage, the reluctant lead of the movie. Did that work for you?
I mean, I figured that was the case given the trailers, but I mean, he's not even really the lead. Like he's kind of the POV character, but it's still kind of really unbalanced as to like who the narrative is truly following. And then in the final like 10 minutes of the film, they're like, oh, by the way, Katana's been the main character the whole time.
What? No.
Yeah, because she's Gamora. So she stands up to her adoptive father and goes, hey, by the way, I'm betraying you. And apparently the Elder Gods are like, that's right. Earth gets 6 fighters and you guys get 4, even though we said it was 5-on-5.
that part.
Talk about cheating.
I was just staring at the screen going, okay, I need some major questions answered about who the heck the god is for this. I have no clue who's in the lead anymore. Like, what gods are in charge of this? I thought Raiden was one of the gods. Is he? Who's making these rules?
Raiden is one of the Elder Gods. Yeah, like he's kind of the Metronon. Is that Alan Rickman's character in Dogma? Yeah, he's kind of like the Metronon of the Elder Gods, where he's just like, hey, we don't want the bad guys to win, but the bad guys keep winning. So I'm here to kind of be the representative of the Elder Gods.
Yeah, no, I got that. I was just like, okay.
I think it's not a broken movie. It's not a bad movie.
No.
I just think, it's Mortal Kombat. You can't really be like, oh, the narrative. Where was the narrative? And that's kind of what I'm being like. So I apologize for being a hypocrite right now. I think it's fine. It was fun, stupid, and I think for $80 million, you get your money's worth. It's not terrible. I just think that there's some refinement that could have happened in the edit, and instead I think the edit really kind of just went, no one cares. Chuck it. It's not a fight. Chuck it. It's not a fight. Chuck it. There's no one throwing fists or making one-liners from the video games. Chuck it.
Yeah, I think it does suffer a little bit from that. It suffers a little bit from the inability to have everyone as committed to the role as possible, because some of the people are much better fighters than others. And I think that suffers a little bit when they're trying to play up how absurd things are. When you have some people who are obviously very focused, very dedicated to the stunt work and the choreography, and others who aren't, that can make the fight seem a little very one-sided, especially when it start chopping down the edits. Because like the fight between Liu Kang and
Liu Kang and Kung Lao, yeah,
I thought that was, they did it well. I do like how they basically do the fighting tournaments, that they basically pick a set for them to be in, like you're teleported to this random location, which I do love, that the location has like barriers so you can't like run away very far. You're stuck in that one where they're in some kind of astral realm on like a collection of like 2 bridges in an intersection, was fun to look at. You could tell they were there most of the fight. They were hanging. I thought that one was one of the best choreographed ones, and also the best camera direction, because you always knew where that spinning blade hat was and what it was doing and how it was going to interact with them. And then you had other ones where I was like, I'm not really buying Karl Urban and Katana's fight, which I understand part of it was he was supposed to be selling, I really don't want to fight because I don't know why I'm here and what's going on and am I supposed to beat up a girl?
And Katana is also like she's supposed to win, but she's also subterfuging the outworld invasion of Earth. So she's like not giving it her all, which is why she's constantly like toying with him. Why her fans are not making contact with him.
Right, but I didn't really buy it in that moment. I felt something was off. Like, I don't know if maybe it's because the decision to put Johnny Cage in jeans is super restrictive to move body movements because he can't lift his leg like to his waist 90% of the time. Or if that's maybe, I mean, bless him. He is 50 something years old. I mean, even in The Boys, Butcher doesn't do a whole lot this season.
I want to come back to Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. I really liked the decision to have Johnny Cage lose immediately.
Yes.
And then his entire arc is about assisting the other people through the tournament and like doing what he can to make sure they survive and get to their next point. I really like that instead of it because that was probably my biggest concern going into the movie is, oh, well, if Johnny Cage is coming in and he's the new guy and they're bringing in Karl Urban and they're making a big point of this, like it seems like they're undercutting everyone else to have this new guy who doesn't want to be there become the champion or save the Earth realm for whatever reason. And like he does to a certain degree, but it's through his tenacity and through his determination as a non-participant that he helps them win. And I like that a lot.
You know what? I actually can completely agree with that because that also was a point that stuck with me. That was when you have Karl Urban join, who I would say arguably is the most famous cast member here. What is he bringing to the table? He is a bit of an outsized personality. Like when he's not doing his fight stuff, he is a very charismatic person. There's so many little touches of this movie that I actually really enjoyed. Like when Karl Urban loses his match and he's there like bobbing for a second, I was like, what the hell is this? And then Shang Chao screams, finish him. And I was like, oh, he's bobbing.
He's doing the thing so you can hit your combo in the right spacing to do your finisher. Yeah. I like that.
I actually really respect when Johnny Cage finally gets on board to be the fighter and assist him. And it doesn't happen until basically they come up with the plan. We are going to sneak in and we're gonna do a heist film at the end of this movie.
I like how they also Loki'd Kano because everyone loved Kano in the first film, and so they just went, "Oh, okay, well, we'll make him Loki," where you don't know where his alignment is, and like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? He's just out for himself, and he just wants to survive. So everyone loves him, and we'll just make him like a little bit of an anti-hero. Like that was a good choice as well. But what you mentioned about Liu Kang and Kung Lao's fight, I think that is like your movie that they should have made is Kung Lao is resurrected and it really affects Liu Kang. And it culminates in this like semi-final fight where they have to fight and it's really visceral and like emotional. And this is where I'm talking about with Ludi Lin, where he sold how heartbroken he was that he had to kill his adoptive brother again after he saw him die in the first film. And they set up a sequel bait with that, I guess. And like, I didn't fully understand that Liu Kang died or like sacrificed himself in some sense at the end of the film. But yeah, he just like flew away into space or something. And I guess he's off in heaven trying to find Kung Lao after he killed him again. But like, I feel like you could make like Mortal Kombat, the Winter Soldier with that concept there. And I think you could do it pretty well if you had the right means to do it.
No one mentioned at the end of the jumping to the end of the film where they're kind of like they're putting the band together to start looking to see if they can rescue some souls and bring people back. No one mentioned, hey, we're going to go find Cole Young.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah,
Well, I mean, his body did just get thrown into an acid pit, and he got his head smashed in.
Yeah.
I just found that funny that he was I found it funny that he was the sacrificial lamb after Shao Kahn got his immortality amulet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. But what I was saying about Johnny Cage coming on board, it was when they fight the Tartakons, or Tarkatons.
To Tartans? I don't Baraka.
Yeah, when they fight them, and he finally decides to embrace being Johnny Cage, which the big speech from Sonya Blade was, "You're an actor. Act." Like, how is that helpful? Being
It's
an
not
actor
helpful because he was an award-winning martial artist. A tournament-winning martial artist that they were setting up the whole thing with Raiden being like, "The gods chose you for a reason. You must be a good fighter." And then it's like, "I can pretend to be a good fighter."
and that will make me a good fighter. I super actually respect that. What he really gets out of that is not that he steps up and becomes like the lead hero for the end of film. He does not. But that he's able to defeat the
Baraka.
main leader. And he does so by cheating and kicking and punching him in the groin. And that earns the respect of the entire tribe. And so now he's their personal hero. He's the greatest champion of that group because he's a cheating piece of crap.
I like that trope where the guy like insults the chief and then all of a sudden he and the chief is like, "Oh, we are best friends now." And then the other guy's like, "Are we though?"
No, I absolutely love that. It makes me laugh. It's perfect. It totally makes me just smile like hell.
Yeah, like we've been saying, like it's a lot of above average, pretty good stuff. It just is it worth going to the theater? Is it worth the 6-8 month pushback that they did from October to May? Like, I think this would have done pretty well in October as like a counter programming to the scary movie Halloween stuff. And I think putting it a week ahead of or 2 weeks ahead putting it on Mother's Day weekend was a choice. And also like putting it a couple weeks ahead of Mandalorian and Grogu and a week after Devil Wears Prada 2. It's a weird choice that clearly doesn't seem to be fully paying off yet.
No, I feel like this is kind of a situation with that movie Red. Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren, came out like 12 years ago, where it was an off-season release. It did really well off-season. They did not expect it to. So Red
Really
2,
good Blu-ray sales and like TV views.
And so what they did was they went, you know what? This is fantastic. Made great money. This was like I think a late October release. Sequel, we're gonna double the budget and we're gaming this a mid-July release. And it made like a third of the money. Like it made a third less than the first one, and nothing came of it. I think that is maybe what they're looking at here. Is that it was a big streaming hit, but everyone was at home. I do like that they kept the budget fairly contained. 80 million, they can make that back by hitting 160, 200 million. And then of course, whatever it is, they're going to sell to some streaming.
They are already talking about a Mortal Kombat 3 as well.
Oh,
so
I'm fine
like
with that.
they might trim the budget a little bit, but I think overall this isn't a bad movie. Like we've been saying, and I think it is deserving of a sequel given the clear fun that everyone seems to be having with this. I just hope that whatever happens with the Paramount sale, that they don't just go like, well, this lost money. We're going to just eat the cost of whatever pre-production we've already started in Mortal Kombat 3 and we're just going to shelf this thing.
Yeah, I don't think they should do that. I really think that they need to focus on just keeping the budget down and just focusing on making another decent movie. It's not going to win any Academy Awards, assumingly, but like I said, and I thought that the fan service moments were like they go to the fight tournament and it's in a game specific setting. I thought that was great. enjoyed some of the bizarre finishing moves, because that's really all I know about the Mortal Kombat games these days is when they announce a new one or they do the demo reel of whatever character they add in, like Freddy Krueger or Homelander or whoever. They always give you like a good 3-4 minute demo of how they fight, and of course the like 6 different finishers they have specifically for them. And yeah, we got some nice finishers and stuff. I think the cast is dynamic enough. So yeah, bring a third one. If it's another tournament, great. If it's not, okay. But yeah, the movie is, like I said, the plot is the plot. The most bizarre part to me was, I was joking out with you when we first started, was the mom is apparently dead. And she's yet one of the fighters because they have a necromancer with them who brings people back, like you said, Kano back, which the explanation of why he's not a revenant is amusing. It's like, well, he never had much of a soul to begin with, so
That
there's
was
nothing,
good.
so there's not a whole lot. There was nothing to strip away.
There's not enough to corrupt, so he's just kind of back as he was. I really wish they would have given him the metal plate for an eye, though, instead of just like making him
laser eye.
Instead of just making him
Yeah.
like another eye that he just pops in.
I do wish they had the metal plate because that's Kano, it's part Terminator thing. But she gets defeated by Sonya Blade. And then a little while later, she's back again because they brought her back to life. And Shao Kahn uses her as like, I will again kill your mother before you if you do not obey me. So then they put her up in the town square. She's like, okay, fine, I'll do what you want. They put her in the town square. At the end of it, they don't mention the mom ever again.
Katana's just disappears at some point.
Katana's ruling the kingdom. Jade is sitting in her mom's seat. I'm like, so is the mom like dead again? Because they've captured the necromancer. They're going to use him for reasons. The good guys have captured him. So did they quietly put the mom back to sleep? Oh no. These are the off-camera questions I always want to have answers to. I would be sitting in that writer's room, or producer's room, whatever. They're looking at the dailies, and I would be like, "Guys, I know it." And what would Ryan George happen? So what happened to the mom? Off screen.
Well, I mean, my big question at the end of the film was, I guess, if the Outworld champion loses, they just lose everything. So as long as the winning streak continues, they just continue to build and build and build, but they lose once and they lose all of it. That was kind of strange to me, where Arid or Indira, whatever Katana's realm was called, they're just like, oh, we're free. Are you?
That makes good sense, because their world got conquered because they lost 10 in a row and now they're owned. But they killed Shao Kahn, and
Katana fought on the side of Earth Realm, which I guess you can just change teams whenever you feel like it. And they just, because she defeated Shao Kahn, she just takes back over her home because Shao Kahn was fatality'd. There's still Shang Tsung and Shinnok and other people from Outworld that are out there. So Outworld's not gone. They just lost their tournament and bid for Earthrealm. So I don't understand how that works, but I mean, it's not important because it's all about Katana's redemption for her people and herself, and revenge for her father.
You know what? I now have a question that I would like answered.
42.
The Outrealm. Shao Kahn and everyone else, and the other top 8 fighters, whatever, go to Earth. By rank, some of them will probably be the top fighters for Earth. Right? Meaning that the worst they have weaker fighters in the Outworld. Shao Kahn gets picked for fight for Earth. Switches sides. Automatic victory. Can we do that?
I mean, apparently the rules seem pretty loosey-goosey on that, in terms of maybe it has to do with your moral compass as well. she said I don't fucking know. I'm not a writer. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's a stupid fun movie that you're not supposed to think that hard about. I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back off this. That's what he'll say. You know, the thing about the mom, sir, is I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back. Oh, well, let me get off that thing for you. We're just gonna have to start making a segment of we predict the pitch
Ryan
meeting.
George. That'd be
We predict
great.
Ryan George's next pitch meeting.
All right, Josh. So I already said it's a must see for me. I had fun.
I can't say it's a terrible movie, so it's a must see. Like it.
All
if,
right.
If we're going into our extremist one side or the other discussion, like I can't say it's a miss because it's fine. It has fun moments. If you have any nostalgia for like Mortal Kombat 2 and maybe 4, you get a lot of stages from those two, like the one where Shao Kahn fights Cole Young. Like that's straight out of Mortal Kombat 2. Like I have such a vivid memory of playing Reptile and spamming his acid spit at the computer. Like I loved that stage because my God, this is Reptile's home because he has acid spit and it's acid floors.
I'm really hoping Street Fighter is as fun as this was, which it looks like it's going to be. But I also hope that it has a little bit more of a story.
Yeah, I mean, if this movie is meant to sell video games, I've already been tempted to pick up the Mortal Kombat collection that they did, where it's like the first 4 Mortal Kombats, including like arcade editions, and then like I really want to try some of the like 3D fighter ones and just like more story based ones. I'm terrible at fighters, but I'm really curious. Like, or maybe I'll just watch a bunch of cutscenes from some YouTube compilation or something. But if you enjoy Mortal Kombat, or if you want to fill me in on the gaps of the storytelling, you can join the Discord and let us know about those sort of things. Alex, let them know more about the Discord and other things that are showing up.
All right, go ahead and join our Discord. It's the links down below. It's tsmackpod@gmail.com. It's primarily where we post our news, thoughts, opinions that come through the week as things pop up. You know, things that are not as timely as Mortal Kombat 2. And we have a website that is like 42% done. It will be tsmackpod@gmail.com. It's where you'll be able to find all of our socials.
tsmackpod.com.
tsmackpod.com. Thank you. It's where you'll be able to find all of our socials. You'll be able to listen online or through any streaming service that you're using. And it's also where we are starting to work on some long form articles, thought pieces and stuff like that. Things that will basically just make people nuts, and or we can officially, by posting it, trademark some of our ideas. We are making a new Draft Day movie. It is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a slapstick comedy of fun.
And if you want to pitch some ideas about the Draft Day sequel, you can join the Discord and let us know there. Like Alex said, there's a link in the episode description. Please follow all of our Brain Trust friends, including Gaming Views, as you heard earlier today. Links to their podcast are in the episode description as well. You can follow us on Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube. We are at Talking Smack Pod. Email us at tsmackpod@gmail.com. Thank you to Leo Allen for our musical themes, Beppel for original avatars, Retro Ale Studios for our Ricky avatar. Please like, subscribe, rate, review on your podcatcher of choice. Feel free to leave comments on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean. Thank you so much for listening. Alex, thank you for being here as always. And most importantly, what TV show should people be watching?
Watch Star Trek, man. Toasty!